Okay. Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Put those pencils down or I'm going to throw them down the hall. Yeah, that's right. Muy bien. Hoy vamos a repasar. We're going to review los pronombres personales. Pronombres personales. So first of all, tell me, pronombres personales are personal pronouns and they take the place of a... Okay, they do take the place of a noun. What kind of a noun though? A person. Only the place of a person, right? Okay. Can personal pronouns go alone? No, they cannot go alone. So if they can't go alone, okay, personal pronouns, they can't go alone. If they can't go alone, then why do we have them? What's the point of using them? Why do I make you use them? To be specific? Okay, muy bien. These help emphasize, what do they help emphasize? Who we're talking about, right? Who we're talking about, okay? Muy bien. So, let's take a look first. ¿Cómo se dice I? ¿Cómo se dice I? Yo. Muy bien, repite. Yo. Yo. Yo is I. Muy bien. Yo is I. ¿Cómo se dice you informal? Tú. Muy bien. Let's see if this marker is a little better. Repite. Tú. With an acento sobre la. What does it mean if you forget that accent? Anyone know?
Your.
It's your. Muy bien. So tú with an accent means you informal. Like how are you? Yes? You don't want to ask someone how are your doing today. How are your doing today? That wouldn't make any sense. So repite. Tú. And that's you informal, okay? How do I say you if I'm talking to somebody of respect or someone formal? Usted, okay? You don't walk up to your teachers and say, yo, dude, what's up? Okay? You talk formally to them. So, usted is you formal. Usted is you formal. Okay? ¿Cómo se dice he? He is L. Muy bien. He is L. L with? Acento sobre la E. Sobre la E. E. There is no A. Sobre la E. Repite todos. A. E. I. O. U. A, E, I, O, U. El burro sabe más que tú. Así, muy bien. Look how good you guys are getting. Excelente. Okay, ¿cómo se dice she?
Ella.
Ella. Muy bien. Thank you for not saying ella. That's horrible. Ella. Ella is she. Remember this double L makes a ya sound in Spanish. Repite. Ella. Ella is she. Okay? Now, all of these, what could I say about all of these personal pronouns so far?
Singular.
They're all singular. We're talking about how many people? One. We're talking about one person. Singular. Here, we'll make one little weird-looking smiley face. We're talking about one person. Okay? Now, over here, the yo form is I. What is the plural of the yo form? Nosotros. Nosotros. Okay? ¿Qué significa nosotros? We. It means we. What if it was a group of girls? Nosotras. And for record, this is nosotros or nosotras, not nosotroas. Yes? Okay? And it means we. Okay? What is the plural of the you informal? What's the plural? Vosotros. Vosotros. Okay? What does vosotros or vosotras translate to? What?
You are.
Is there a verb? It's not are. You guys. You guys. You guys. Like the Goonies. Hey, you guys. Okay? And I remember that. Two has a U in it. Okay, two has a U in it. You informal. And vosotros, I kind of think of the U. The V looks more like a U, and that's why I always associate those two together. I don't know why, but it works, okay? And they're directly across from each other, okay? Usted is you formal. How would I say you all formal for a whole group? Ustedes. Muy bien. Repite. Ustedes. Ustedes is you all formal. Okay, you all formal. Then, L is he. ¿Cómo se dice they for a group of boys? Ellos. Now, ellos, though, has two different meanings. Ellos is they for a group of boys, or what? A group of mixed. Because if we have 100 girls and one boy, you have to use the ellos form, yes? For a group of boys or for a group of mixed. And what is the plural of ella going to be? Muy bien. Ellas. They for a group of girls. Okay, so everything written in verde is what? Plural. Everything written in verde is plural. Okay, everything written in verde is plural. We're talking about more than one person. We'll put two little smiley faces here. Okay, at least two people or more. So we have, repite, yo, yo, tú. You what? Informal. Muy bien. Usted. Who are you going to point out for usted? Old lady McGee up here. Come on, you little bums. Let's go look alive. Repite, yo. Tú. Usted. Él. Ella. Nosotros. Am I included in this group? Yes, I am. Vosotros. Okay? What? Vosotros. Repite, vosotros. Now, what about for a group of old people? Whole group of us. Ustedes. And then we have repite. Ellos is they for a group of boys or mixed. And ellas is they for a group of girls. Muy bien. Excelente. Okay, now, if I draw a line right here, what can you tell me about yo and nosotros? They are both first person. First person. What does that mean? Oh, it means first person. What does that mean?
You're talking about yourself.
You're talking about yourself. You're talking about yourself, yes? Okay, and now if we draw a line here, these are both what? Second person. Second person. And we're talking what? Talking to someone or talking about someone? Talking to someone. So you could put that in your notes. For second person, you're talking to someone. Like in a conversation or a dialogue. I'm going to put down dialogo. Okay? Because you don't want to be the crazy lady on the street walking alone using the to form. You should really come over tonight. You would look like a crazy person. You cannot use the second person unless you're talking to somebody. Yes? Okay? Then we have this one is third person, right? And now you're talking about someone. You're talking about someone. Talking about someone. Okay? Muy bien. Now, any preguntas here? ¿Sí or no? ¿Hay preguntas? No hay preguntas. Okay. If I were to give you, I want to say, Luisa, which personal pronoun could I substitute for Luisa? ¿Segura? Sí, ella. Muy bien. Okay, if I wanted to say los pasajeros. What personal pronoun would I substitute? This is on the quiz. Ellos. Why? It's a group of passengers. So first of all, you look at los pasajeros, even if you have no idea in this world what pasajeros means, you can still narrow down your results by 50% by asking yourself, is pasajeros singular or plural? What is it? Plural. So automatically it has to be one of the green pronouns. Okay? Now, am I talking about myself? Does it say anything about yo? No, so it can't be first person. Does it say anything about you? No, so it can't be second person. So it has to be either ellos or ellas. Yeah? And so it was ellos. That is correct. Okay, what about Luisa y Paco? Luisa y Paco. What personal pronoun? Vosotros or ellos? This is one that we do tend to mix up a little bit. Ellos? Why? Okay, it is two people. it is two people, okay, so it is going to be in the plural side. Am I talking about myself? No. Am I talking to somebody? Do you see you or you formal anywhere in number 3? No. So can it be vosotros or ustedes? No. So it has to be what? Ellos. It has to be ellos. It has to be ellos. Okay, let's try another one. How about tú y yo? Tú y yo. Tú y yo.
Nosotros.
Why?
It's you and I.
Okay, you and I. I could say you and I are studying Spanish. I could say the dog and I are going to the park. Or I could say we are going to the park. Okay, the students and I are going to the computer lab. We are going to the computer lab. It's all the same thing. Yeah? So, you can say tú y yo, or you could say nosotros. Now, up here for your nosotros or your nosotras, I would make yourself a little note, a little star. Anytime you see anybody, any other person or pet, persons or pets, any person or pet, y yo is always going to be the nosotros form. What does y mean? And yo is I. It does not matter who it is, and I. If it's anyone else and I, it's going to be what form? Nosotros. Muy bien. Okay, how about, I'm trying to think if there's any other tricky ones. Ustedes. Y yo. What personal pronoun? Ustedes y yo. Ooh, this is a hard one, huh? Nosotros or vosotros? Okay, raise your hand if you think nosotros. Raise your hand high, no fence sitters. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm not really sure. I'm going to raise my hand both times. Nosotros is, let's see it. Okay, vosotros. Who's got the vosotros? Oh, sure, now no one wants to pick it. And the rest of you who didn't vote? You're just too chicken to vote? Thanks a lot. Okay, now, what two key words? We have a red flag here. Y, yo. It does not matter who I put, and I. If you see anyone else, and I, it's got to be we. So it is nosotros. Yeah? ¿Todo bien? Okay. Ahora, look at CP5, por favor. CP5, your cuaderno de practica. In your cuaderno de practica, and I'm going to step and grab mine real quick. We're on CP5, cuaderno de practica, la página 5. This one got a lot of people, and so I want to make sure that we are understanding this a little bit. On CP5, for the second column, the whole second column, when you are talking to somebody, you have to use one of these personal pronouns, and that's the only thing you should have written down. We're not using ser at all, okay? It's just the personal pronouns, just the personal pronouns. So, for the first one, if you're talking to Don Francisco, who in our fotonovela, he's the creepy bus driver, okay? Es el conductor del autobús, and you're going to meet him very soon, on Friday, actually.
Yay.
If you're talking to Mr. Don Francisco, he's not just Frank, he's Don Francisco. Which personal pronoun are you going to use?
Usted.
Come on, chiquititos, I know you've done this. Let's go, vamos. What is it? Usted. Usted. You're going to use usted. Now, if you're talking about him, what are you going to use? I'm not talking to him. You are a creepy guy. I'm talking about him. He is a real creepy guy. El, with an acento sobre la E. Okay, número dos. Maite e Inés. E is just another way to say and. That E all by itself is another way to say and. Maite and Inés are two girls. So if you're talking to them, gentlemen, escucha. If you're talking to these two girls, what personal pronoun are you going to use? You have two kind of possibilities here. You could use vosotras, because we're talking to two girls. Yeah? Hey, you guys, what if you don't know Maite and Inez very well? Or you're in a country that's a little bit more formal? Ustedes. So I would take vosotras or ustedes for that answer. Okay, both would be correct. Okay, now we have Inez, who's a girl, and Alex, who's a boy. Número tres, Inez and Alex. If you're talking to Inez and Alex, what personal pronoun? And you can see here, this is the workbook page we're working on. To Inez and Alex, we are talking about, what did you say? Vosotros. What if I don't know them very well? Okay, now I want to talk about them. Ellos. Is this starting to make a little more sense? Okay, let's see. How about la profesora? Talking to the profesora. Usted. Talking about her? How many people are we talking about? La profesora. How many people is that? One. La profesora is singular, so it has to be something in this column. It has to be something in this column. Am I talking about myself? No. Am I talking to you? No. So it has to be ella. Ella. Okay, now, how about, let's skip down to number 6. El director. What does el director look like? The director or the principal, right? De of una escuela. If you're talking to the director of a escuela, you do not walk up to a school principal and say, yo, what's up? What do you say? Usted. Now when you're talking about this director, who we know is a man because of the article el, what are you going to use? El. With an acento sobre la E. Carlos, ¿estás escuchando? Okay, todo bien? No hay preguntas? There are not questions on this? Okay, let's look at the next section of your workbook. For the next section of your workbook, you had to rewrite each of the sentences, Mr. Jenkins, using the correct form of the verb ser. Okay, it on number 1 says we are students. Nosotros somos estudiantes. They want you to rewrite this exact same sentence, but change it using a form of the verb ser. Okay? And you're going to use the personal pronoun that they indicated. So, first of all, we should probably review our verb ser. So, repite todos. Soy, eres, es. Somos, soy, son. Soy, eres, es. Somos, soy, son. Soy, eres, es. Somos, soy, son. Son, son. What? Repite. Oh. Son. Son. Muy bien. So, you guys told me that the verb is ser and it means to be. To be or not to be. What is this called?
Infinitivo.
Woohoo! The infinitivo. Now tell me, what does infinitivo mean?
Infinitive.
It means infinitive. What does that mean?
It means that it's awesome.
It means that it's awesome. We still don't know this word. It's such a killer academic vocabulary word. What is it? Infinitivo. What does that mean?
It means
It has a lot of stuff. Awesome. Okay? The infinitivo, remember, is the infinitive form of a word, meaning it's always going to be to do something. Okay? It's a verb that means to do something. Okay? It's the original root form of the verb. It's always going to be to do something. To walk, to run, to sing, to dance. But can I say I to dance salsa? No, you have to conjugate that verb. So when I tell you that I want you to conjugate the verb ser, what does that mean? When I tell you conjugate ser, what does that mean? Match the personal pronoun with what? With the correct form of ser. Do you have to have these personal pronouns when you get like amazing at Spanish someday? Do you have to have them? No, you actually don't need them. You could totally viably leave them off. So if you could leave them off, why do I make you use them? So we know them? Why? So that we kind of emphasize which form of ser we're talking about. That's especially true, not so much with soy or eres, but when I have s on here, it could be 4 different things, right? It could be he is, she is, or you formal are. And what's the 4th meaning? S all by itself could be it is. Yeah, it is. Okay, and then we have somos, sois, and son. Yeah? So now you just rewrite these exact same sentences. You look at the personal pronoun, and then you fill in the correct form of ser. ¿Todo bien? Okay, adios.